So hello guys, this is the M14EBR here once again, back at you with another gameplay commentary, and in this gameplay commentary I will be taking a look at the M14EBR semi-automatic sniper rifle for your recon class. But before I do that though, I would like to give one quick shout out to C.Buster for personally asking me for a shout out and being an awesome guy. He asked me for a shout out, so this one is for him. Now also about the gameplay itself, it was a pretty long round on Karkand, so I fast forwarded the first part so it wouldn't be like 10 minutes long. So I think it's 8 minutes now or a bit more than that. But I hope you guys can sit through and watch this. For you guys that can't, at the beginning you saw the summary button, which you can click to be taken to the end of the video, where I'll do my final vertical on the weapon and give a rating. Now before I get onto the gun review, I would also like to explain the gameplay itself and the attachment that I'm running on the weapon. Now for the M14, I'm running the tactical stock, Viper Max, precision barrel, and the PSO-SVD sight. About the sight, I'll get into it in a minute, and why I chose it and why I actually should not have chosen this sight. Also about the gameplay, one more thing. At some point, I think like in 2 minutes or so, I was running out of ammo. As you can see, I'm already running out of ammo with this weapon now. But I ran out of ammo and I was just using my MP4 Rex, and I was getting quite a lot of kills with it. But I didn't want this to be a Rex gun review. I wanted this to be an M14 gun review, so I just suicided so I could respawn with a full magazine. So hope you don't mind, because otherwise I would have gotten a lot more kills with the Rex or died, whoever knows. But yeah, let's talk about the gun. Now the M14EBR is a really early unlock for your recon class. I forgot what rank you unlock it, but I'm pretty sure that it's unlocked before you reach rank 10. Now the M14EBR is also the cheapest weapon for your recon class to get, both with credits and with funds. It can be obtained for 17,500 credits, which is dirt cheap, seeing that all the other weapons mostly cost 45,000 credits or maybe even more. I would never recommend buying this weapon with funds though, because it's so cheap with credits anyway. It would just be a waste to buy it with funds, which you could have used for something else. Now, one of the best things about the M14EBR after the buff, after the nerf and buff update happened, I think like a month or 2 months ago now, and here you can see I will start to use my Rex a lot more. But after the update that happened, the M14EBR now shoots the fastest out of all the semi-automatic sniper rifles for your recon class, including the SKS. It even shoots faster than the SKS does. A lot of people might not think this, but trust me, the M14EBR shoots a slight bit faster than the SKS does. But this is not the best thing ever, because for example, if you want to like rapid fire this weapon at medium to long range, you won't have that much success, because you of course have to wait till the recoil and deviation settles in. Speaking of recoil, this weapon has one of the least amount of recoil for the semi-automatic sniper rifle. It has the second least amount of recoil out of all the semi-automatic sniper rifles, the least amount of recoil being the SKS. But it makes up for that, having the lowest amount of deviation out of all the semi-automatic sniper rifles. Now the deviation was always a problem with the M14, and because of that, people tend to run the precision stock on this weapon, because otherwise the weapon would be unusable and you could not hit a single thing with the M14. But after the update, it has changed a lot, and you can definitely hit a lot more bullets now than you would be before the update. Now speaking of magazine, it has 14 bullets per magazine and 3 magazines to spare, which is just default, I find. It's the same as the M110 and the SVD. The only thing that's different is to the SKS. The SKS has 16 bullets, so that's 2 whole bullets more than the M14 does. But I don't find that it's that much of a problem, because if you use something like Viper Max, which I'm doing in this gameplay, I already get 17 bullets. And as you saw in that kill right there, the rate of fire did come in really handy, and I took down that guy with ease. Now the reload time, of the M14 is 4 seconds. It's nothing slow, it's nothing too fast. It's just something really good. It's not aggravatingly slow like let's say a slow reload weapon like an LED5. An LED5 reloads extremely slow, which will get you killed quite often, but the M14 reloads quite fast, so it's nothing you have to worry about. And especially with 14 bullets, you can actually reload and come back with a fully reloaded magazine quite fast. Now, the projectile velocity is one of the most important things of a sniper rifle, since your only bullet counts, and if you're trying to snipe people at longer ranges and they are also moving, it will be really difficult to kill them if you have a slow projectile velocity. But the M14's projectile velocity is 525, which is a slight bit above average. The SKS and the SVD both shoot at 500, and the M110 shoots at 550, so that's a bit above average, but it's nothing too insane. I would still recommend running a precision barrel on this weapon just to simply buff up the projectile velocity so it's easier to hit longer range targets. Now, the scope of the weapon magnifies 2.43 times. I was kind of getting confused there. It magnifies 2.43 times, which is in my opinion the best thing to use for this weapon. About the sight that I was using the PSO-SVD. It really isn't the best choice for the M14 since it's misaligned and it caused me to miss a lot of my shots, which if I used the default scope would been just straight on hits. So I recommend using the default scope for this weapon because I find it provides the best zoom. It offers the best trade between medium to long range and even close range. For example, if you would slap on a desert ballistic scope to this weapon, it could be good for long range, but it would suck for close range. And vice versa, if you attach a red dot to this weapon, it would be good for close range, but it would suck for long range. So that's why I tend to stick to the default scope of this weapon, because I find that it gives the best trade-off between close, medium and long range combat. Now, if you clicked on the summary button option at the beginning of the video, you will be taken to this part of the video where I will do my final verdict on the weapon, give my final opinion on the weapon, and give the weapon a rating. Now, I give the M14EBR a solid 6 out of 10 rating. I didn't give it an extremely high rating like an 8. I would give it, but the thing is that the M14EBR is not really a gun that anybody can use. It requires a lot of practice to be good with, and just not anybody that just is trying to get into this game can use. Although with some really good practice you can get some really good scores, and it's a lot of fun to use this weapon. The M14EBR has medium damage, not the highest damage, not the lowest damage, but after all it's a semi-automatic, so it does quite a lot of damage. You can expect to down your enemies in 4 shots, and if you use a damage buffing attachment, you can down them in around 3 shots. It has the lowest deviation out of all the semi-automatic sniper rifles available in playthrough free at the moment, so using a tactical stock is highly recommended because a precision stock is not needed. It also has the second lowest recoil out of all the semi-automatic sniper rifles in Battlefield playthrough free, meaning that after a bit of practice, controlling the recoil won't be as difficult. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this weapon as much as I do. It's definitely a really fun weapon to play with from time to time, and it can really help you getting your aim on. Well, this has been the Man BFP4F, and I'm out.